In this video, we have a look at how to use a gradient and a point on the line to determine the equation of the line in what's called the point gradient form. First of all, let's call A any point on the line, and we'll call P a specific or fixed point on the line. Now, between those two, we can determine a gradient, and it's the difference in the y values divided by the difference in the x values. What we'll then do is use the denominator on the left-hand side to multiply across to the right-hand side. So we get y minus y1 equals m brackets x minus x1. Now the reason why there's subscripts there is because the x1 and the y1 represent a known point. So we can actually put in specific values, as we'll see in this example coming up. But the x and y without the subscripts, they represent any point on the line, so they remain variables. In this example, we're trying to find the equation of the line where we know the gradient, which is a half, and we know that it passes through the point negative 1, 7. So in this case, our known point is negative 1, 7, and they represent the x1 and y1 values respectively. So let's look at our point gradient form as we saw beforehand. We've got y minus y1. Now that becomes y minus 7 because that's our y value. On the right hand side, we have a gradient of a half, and in the bracket we have x minus negative 1. For our next step, we have two options. What we could do is multiply out the bracket on the right hand side by 1/2, which could get a little bit messy with the fractions involved. Or what we could do is divide both sides of the equation by a half, which is the same as multiplying both sides of the equation by 2. And when we do that, the left hand side becomes 2y minus 14, and the right hand side, considering the negative in the bracket, becomes x plus 1. To complete this, what we need to do is simplify the equation and express it in one of two forms. We could express it in the form y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. In other words, just rearrange the equation so it's y equals. Or the other way, we can express it in what's called the general form, and that's where the equation equals 0. And we'll do the latter by taking the 2y minus 14 across to the right-hand side. And our final solution becomes 0 equals x minus 2y plus 15.